Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. We're jumping on. We're going to get our friends from Instagram here before we get started. Good morning, Instagram. We are here. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. All right. Well, good morning, everybody, once again, and welcome to episode 191 of the On Air Advocate. Where at the On Air Advocate, we look to provide education, support, and empowerment for all of those with different abilities, mental and medical illnesses, and their caregivers. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Tammy Flynn, and I am the host and producer of the On Air Advocate. And I am super excited if you're here joining us on this early Tuesday morning or whether you're catching this on the replay. Now, as always, if you think any of the content that we are talking about could be relevant for anyone in your network or your circle, please hit the share button, share the love with others. Well, today I am so excited because we are kicking off our IBS and gut health series. So IBS standing for irritable bowel syndrome. And I am so excited to have with us today Derek Holm. He is the Chief Development Officer and Lead Formulator for Neogenics Nutrition. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Neogenics.
Neogenics. It's quarantine brain. Every live I've done, there's been some blue.
I pronounced it worse than you have, trust me. Good morning, everyone.
I'm just so excited to have you here. You have not been on the show before, so, I want you to be able to tell our community here, about your background, and all of that, and your journey within the supplement industry is pretty phenomenal.
It has been a long, arduous journey, to say the least. I started in the supplement industry over 15 years ago, and I actually started on a semi-automatic capsule machine, just doing the grunt work in the back of a manufacturing facility in Wisconsin. Hated it because it's very boring, but loved all of the formulas and how to mix it, and really fell in love with that side of things. After having a very heavy role in manufacturing of the product, I transitioned, I guess, more into a formulation, quoting, sourcing ingredient role, and really learned the ins and outs of how to create supplements, and also how to run them properly on the equipment. Over the next 4 to 5 years, I became obsessed with the industry and really tried to learn everything I possibly could about every single department. So that led me on this this journey of learning about the FDA laws and label compliance, ingredient science, what's good, what's bad. And through this process, really learned how insane the industry as a whole is. And I discovered all sorts of loopholes and marketing tricks, and just different ways to for companies to bolster their profits and disguise high quality, when in fact a lot of what's out there is low quality. And that really bugged me for a long time. And I transitioned out of that role in Wisconsin, and really I felt like I could bring more to the world, and I wanted to try and change the industry,
right,
in any possible way, even if it was just a little bit. So then I started a multi-year process where I went off on my own, and I was consulting for different manufacturers all over the US. And in the end, I honestly felt like I was getting paid to have people argue with me. It was pretty crazy. And it was within that time period where I started feeling really burned out, and like I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't bringing any change. So my cousin's husband and I decided we were going to take things into our own hand. We're going to start our own brand,
Journey.
and make a product, and we created Neogenics, and it spawned into something pretty incredible.
Yes, and I
We,
think, Derek, when me and you were chatting on the phone before, we had this interview, I told you for myself how confusing things are in our industry, right? Even my doctor, I had a surgery and the doctor told me to go get these type of vitamins. And then I go to my pharmacist at Walgreens. Well, which one's better? Well, which one's this? No one has answers. Everyone just kind of totes about their product, but nobody really has, like when I was talking to you, that education and that science and that knowledge behind it. Why is it better? What makes it? What are you looking for? And I think as consumers, that makes it super confusing.
it's overwhelming, and the number of low quality products far outweigh the high quality one. There's so many different areas to learn about to really understand the difference between a good product and a bad product. I mean, you have the ingredients. Just for example, you're probably familiar with the term extract. A lot of supplement brands list all sorts of different extracts on their labels. And one thing you can always check out is, do they have any other information after that word extract? Is there a ratio? Is it a 4-to-1, an 8-to-1, a 12-to-1, a 16? I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of different extracts. And if you're a company that's just listing ashwagandha extract and that's it, chances are the company making that product is using the lowest cost, cheapest grade ashwagandha just so they could put that on the label. So the more information available, the better. And then you get into other things about, what actually works, what can our bodies absorb, what's healthy, what's not. For example, magnesium is a really common mineral in a lot of multivitamins and different stress supplements.
Right.
And if you look at a lot of the labels in any store, predominantly people use magnesium oxide as their source of magnesium. We can't break that down. It goes right through us. So why is it being used in every supplement out there when we know it can't be used? It goes right into the toilet. So those are the types of things that are very prevalent in the supplement industry, and it's a way for brands to have a really nice looking label and have a really powerful appearing supplement facts, but it's not working. Nothing is actually being absorbed in your system. So there's thousands of these loopholes, and it's my mission to bring this out and educate people the best way I can, make sure that they're actually getting value for the money they're spending. Otherwise, it's a waste.
Right. And, for the show today, as we now I don't want to say celebrate, recognize, in the month of April, irritable bowel syndrome. It's that awareness month for that. But when we talk about IBS, so much of that is right in there in conjunction with your gut health, and things that kind of stir that and set that off as well. And so, I wanted to discuss that with you, kind of your perspective, your take, your knowledge, around that area. I know that our immune support has so much, to do with that and whatnot. So can you lend any?
Yeah. So it's my position, it's Neogenics' position that everything, the foundation of good health really starts in the gut. Everything goes through there. That's where everything's absorbed, and it affects every single area of our body, mentally and physically. Over 80% of our serotonin is stored in our guts. Like, that's insane. There is a gigantic link between the gut and the brain. You can almost think of the gut and the brain as one organ. They're so tightly interwoven with each other. What affects one organ affects the other. So gut health is crucial to every system in the body. And one way to do that and to support that and to support, in turn, your mental health, your immune system is with probiotics. And I think there needs to be more science done in terms of probiotic use with IBS and other digestive issues. But so far, the research that has been done is really promising in those areas. And it really speaks to the power of what good, high quality probiotics can do for our bodies.
And I know in this time and in this space that we're in like what they say, the COVID times, and I'm saying we are all searching for, we're all searching for vitamins and minerals and things that are going to support our immune system. And I know of myself, I mean, off of the shelves of the store, all the vitamin C, all the emergency is gone. All
Gone.
all gone. But you think to yourself, okay, so would I have been better buying a vitamin C tablet? Would I have been better, getting this? Like, what is really truly giving you that's immune support? And so, as you being the developer, what would you say, kind of to this community as when you're looking for really supporting your immune system through minerals, nutrients, whatnot? What are you really truly searching for?
Well, contrary to, I guess, popular belief, I would highly recommend changing your perspective and focusing on intestinal health first. We developed an immune system bundle that a lot of people ask, well, why do you have a probiotic in there? It does, the bundle has other awesome products in it, but why is there a probiotic? And it just speaks to our belief and the science that is out there. You need an amazing probiotic to support your gut, which is in turn going to strengthen and boost your immune system and limit the risk factor, especially in today's world. Vitamin C is good, zinc's good, but then again, you need to know what else is in that formula. What type of zinc is it? A lot of people get nauseous or feel sort of heartburn when they take zinc. So there are really high quality zincs out there, but they're very expensive. So a lot of companies won't use those. We feel differently. We set out on a mission. We said, well, screw the cost. We're putting it in there, and we're not about these high profits. We're not looking to go buy islands somewhere. We really want to focus on helping people and giving them the best ingredients and the best formulas that can possibly be made. A lot of vitamin C tablets. What else is in there to form the tablet? It's not just vitamin C. So those are, different things that have to go into a decision when you're buying a supplement. You don't necessarily want to see something with magnesium stearate in there. You don't want to see something with a lot of corn maltodextrin or corn starch. These are the easy ways to make supplements, and they're the lowest cost ways. They're not necessarily the healthiest ways. So it's important to look at not just the supplement facts panel, but the other ingredients and what's all in there. And is this truly a good value for what I'm getting?
Right. And to just rewind a tiny bit for zinc, because at the COVID times, zinc has been talked about a lot as to whether that's a factor that, truly helps. And, they have everything from obviously zinc lozenges you can suck on to when we talk about Zicam, which you can let dissolve under your mouth to, I'm assuming a zinc tablet. And I find like dissolvable ones and whatnot for someone, I'm a pretty significant sufferer of IBS. And though I feel like it helps in a way, I do get nauseated. I do get like, just like I take it and I have to kind of get through it and I don't feel good for like an hour after. And I wonder, why is that for some, especially if maybe they don't, have as, I don't know, great of gut health or, suffer from IBS, do they have that reaction to it?
Well, it might have a lot to do with the form of zinc. We use a couple of different forms of zinc. Just depends on what formula it's in, but the forms that we use are specifically designed to eliminate that gut rot feeling, that nauseous feeling. But some of the other things, like when you're talking about a lozenge, a lot of lozenges are just, they're made with sugar, they're made with dextrose, they're made with corn maltodextrin, and sugar is definitely something that can upset someone's stomach, especially if you have IBS. So those types of ingredients, although it makes a really nice tablet, it tastes good, might have some unintended side effects. So um, I prefer to do a tablet method, one that wouldn't have all the sugar and stuff in there, and just make it in an easy way.
Okay. Because I know that those are, I mean, it's so hot right now. I mean, you can't go to a store and find yourself some vitamin
Yeah, they put it right next to the hand sanitizer.
or the Clorox wipes that
Yeah.
everyone is searching for. Now, when we talk about probiotics, I know, my son suffers from lots of GI issues as well. And, the doctor all the time recommends a great probiotic. And I think the one that a lot of times he's recommended is that I think it's Flora something, and it goes in the fridge. Why does it go in the fridge? Why do some probiotics go in the fridge and some probiotics don't go in the fridge?
You do not want to purchase a probiotic where it requires refrigeration. Those are typically made with generic strains that aren't implementing the latest probiotic fermentation science. A lot of the generic strains that are made come from overseas. They're just made quick, they're made very cheap. They don't have all of the scientists beefing up these strains and making them hardier, acid resistant, temperature resistant, moisture resistant. So that's typically a sign that the probiotic itself is using generic strains. Secondly, probiotics, they're living. They they die very easy, and moisture, among other things, easily kills probiotics. Whenever you refrigerate something and pull it out, open up the cap and put it back in again, it's gonna there's gonna be moisture. There's gonna be condensation at small levels. That moisture is going to affect the product, and it's going to reduce its shelf life. And although the argument is, well, keeping it colder is going to keep the probiotics more dormant, the moisture is still going to kill them at a faster rate than the dormancy will keep them alive.
Okay. And so your probiotic that you have, and now I want to say I have some of the products right here. And I have, and you know what? I had told Derek, I mean, there are lots of things that having significant, IBS that I get nausea from that don't react well with my system. So I very much gradually go into things. I don't ever take 3 products at one time to start out with. I try each of them. And you start with one, try it for 2 days, 3 days, make sure that that's not going to cause your stomach being upset. Just kind of like food allergies. Try it for a few days, make sure it's not that, and then go on to your next product. And I have to say, I've taken this in the morning on an empty stomach, and I have not had any nausea. You know what I'm saying?
That's great.
At
Thanks
all.
for that.
So, I mean, I think that's awesome. That's there. So in this probiotic, what would you say is the differing factor? Aside, obviously, it doesn't need the refrigeration.
Oof.
But what is probably like the three key things that are the differing from ones that you may find at the store?
Oh, I hope I can limit it to three things. There is a lot of advancements in the NeoPro over any other probiotic out there, without a doubt. The first is the strain selection. All the strains in ours are clinically studied high grade strains. They are the most expensive strains on the planet. And the reason being is they're scientifically advanced and they have tons of research behind them. I love to use patented, trademarked ingredients where I know these companies, I can see their quality control, and I can see their research and all of their top level clinical studies, and really know that the product is scientifically backed. So strain selection is huge. Second, just as important, is a prebiotic that's used in there. And this is what is a huge lack in the industry, is quality prebiotics. You can think of a prebiotic like almost like a food that the probiotics are going to eat and sustain them and keep them living. Most companies out there will save money and just use like rice maltodextrin, corn maltodextrin. Some don't even use, and they'll use microcrystalline cellulose as just like a filler. Well, those things aren't necessarily good prebiotics. They will feed the probiotics, but they will also feed bad bugs in your intestine, and they're not going to enhance the probiotic strength. The prebiotic we use actually has been clinically studied to selectively feed only beneficial bacteria. Bad bacteria won't eat the stuff that's in that capsule. Just the good stuff will. And it's also been shown that our prebiotic will actually strengthen the probiotic's efficacy. So it's going to work better with our prebiotic, which is sun fiber, as opposed to different types of maltodextrins or a whole bunch of FOS, fructooligosaccharides, is another digestive distress causing agent. So we put a little bit in there as a secondary source, but we don't exceed 60 milligrams, which is where some people will start experiencing bloating, gas, distress. The other thing I'll mention is really about the delivery system. It is very important that a probiotic formula, no matter what's in it, has to be delivered to the intestines alive. And the probiotics will die in the stomach acid. So you need to see if a probiotic has a delayed release capsule. A delayed release capsule is just going to do what it says. It's not going to dissolve in your stomach acid. It's going to finish dissolving in your intestines. That's where it's going to open up. That's where the formula is released. And then the probiotics are in your intestines alive and can colonize and go to work, as opposed to opening them up in your stomach acid. They're just going to swim around and die and be useless. I will add one more thing about NeoPro, and it's this awesome bottle. Moisture really kills probiotics. So instead of just putting a little silicone packet in there, we got this specially designed bottle. And the entire inside of this bottle is a moisture absorbing desiccant sleeve. Just keeps everything super dry. We can actually claim an 18-month shelf life, which is fairly unheard of in the probiotic world. So yeah, we approach NeoPro with every scientific advantage available.
Right, and quality. Now, for a probiotic, I know when the doctors have recommended it to me, my son, a lot of that is just for that, gut health, digestive health, that way. What are some benefits of people taking a probiotic?
Well, in the digestive system, you're going to experience obvious, better regularity, an easier time going to the bathroom. But then when you get out of that category, certain strains have been studied and have been scientifically validated for other benefits, like Lactobacillus gasseri is scientifically validated to promote weight loss. So we have a lot of customers that take NeoPro and lose a bunch of weight. So that's awesome. But other benefits you can experience would even be lower stress levels, better cardiovascular health, easier time sleeping, more natural energy. The list really goes on and on because the digestive tract affects so many areas of our body.
Okay. And now, kind of transitioning out of that, I would love for you to kind of pinpoint maybe, and I know in the beginning you kind of led to one or two of them, but maybe a few different things as consumers, if people are going out looking at different products, looking for that digestive health, gut health, immune support, clearing the shelves of vitamin C. What would you say when people are looking at ingredients, being the best consumer that they can be, for product quality?
One
And then
thing
all the stuff in the world, you know what I'm saying? All the things online you see, like click here, click here, click here.
Sure.
Let's go.
The first thing I'll mention is that's often overlooked is when you look at a supplement facts panel, see how many ingredients are in there. There is only so much room inside of a capsule. And what's very misleading are formulas that'll list 10 plus different ingredients, and they'll put it all in a proprietary blend, and it'll look like this thing has every ingredient known to man. Oh my gosh, this is going to save my life. You can't put a million things of effective quantity into one serving. Just the math doesn't work. And I see it all the time. You'll see these fruit and veggie blends, and it'll have 15 fruits and veggies, and it'll have a proprietary blend of like 350 milligrams or 400 milligrams. Well, 350 milligrams is enough to fit on the tip of my finger.
Mm-hmm.
And now divide that by 15 or 20 fruits and veggies. It'd be the same thing of just going to the store and just taking the smallest little nibble of 15, 20 plus different veggies, and then saying that that cured your ailment, or you feel so much better about it. That's a really clever marketing ploy that's used, is these long lists of proprietary blends when there's really nothing in it. It's dust. When you get into the probiotics, there's also a ton of loopholes in there. Don't go by the the front of the label or what's advertised for the strength, because a lot of companies will be misleading with that. They'll even say like as effective as 100 billion. So look for that fine print. Then see what the effectiveness is at expiration, at the shelf life, at the end of the shelf life. A loophole in the industry that's used a lot is companies will say, this is a 50 billion CFU, counts floral units. That's the strength. It'll say 50 billion at time of manufacture. And the at time of manufacture will be in really small print. Well, how much is alive if if that bottle sat on the shelf for 10 months or 12 months?
Right.
If they don't list it, why not? Probably because there's not much living. So you really want to make sure that, it's a high strength. Get something that's over 10 billion, that will be effective for daily use. But make sure there's over 10 billion at the end like before it expires. Make sure it's listed properly and it doesn't just say at time of manufacture or completely ignored. There are a lot of probiotics out there that'll list 10 plus strains, and the same principle. There's only so much you can put into a capsule and keep it at a reasonable cost. So I see these formulas out there that are, 15 strains, 16 strains, and they boast 15 billion per serving. They don't put what it is at expiration, and they make people think that they're getting, this huge variety of probiotic strains when in fact it's just a little tiny bit of 15 strains that add up to 15 billion, and there's probably 1 billion in there at the shelf life. So a lot of ineffective products out there.
Yes. And is there a site, and I know obviously you're just like a fountain of knowledge, so people can reach, what I'm saying? You are. And especially when you get into the product knowledge and, what I'm saying, and knowing the ingredients and all of that. But people can reach out to you, but is there another source that you say is a great, if you're trying to educate yourself on really understanding vitamins, understanding minerals, understanding how it processes through your body, especially for those, you have parents, you have adults that maybe have loved ones that are compromised, their children are compromised in some way, and they're trying to just educate themselves just to have more knowledge. Are there any good just websites, organizations, foundations, anything like that out there that you would say, oh, that's a good read? There's some good articles. There's some good content to extract some good information from.
The internet is a very big place. So
that's what I'm saying.
Places like, general places, WebMD, drugs.com, I think Healthline has some good information, healthline.com, just general information about, specific topics you search up in there. Drugs.com will have information on a lot of other ingredients, and so will WebMD, just some basic facts. But then what I really like to do is, if you have a question about a specific ingredient, look that ingredient up online and then add search terms like bioavailability or absorption rate, things like that. So you're expanding on your search, and you might not get to a main website, but you'll probably find a really good thread and a link to a clinical research site that will have some really good data in it. If I can find one of these sites, you can keep going. I'm going to look for this site quick. It's got a bunch of
no, but I think that is such.
PubMed. There it is.
What is it called?
PubMed.
Oh yes, I have heard of PubMed.
Run by NCBI. So I can copy the link and I'll put that in the
perfect
chat later. But there's a lot of clinical studies on there that really go into, is this effective? Isn't it effective? It gets a little wordy, it gets a little boring, but you can generally get a good idea if you just read the thesis, the abstract portion.
Right. Well, I mean, that's such a good recommendation, is to kind of follow that thread and then put the pieces of the puzzle, together as you go and taking that in. But we'll drop some of those resources. I'm always one to tell people like WebMD, like you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like if you're just going to the basic definition, take your definition and then leave the page, because by the time you're done on there, as we all know, they'll have you thinking that you have 19 years.
I've had cancer like 70,000 times. I've died a couple times. Yeah, I mean, WebMD is, you have to use it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, just get the definition, extract what you're looking for. But any of those that we find, but I think that's good to search out those words and then search out studies, because that's going to give people a little bit more knowledge that way. But like I said, I think that you are a great resource for so many people. I know that I've in just the time that I've known you, I've thrown all these ingredients. I'm like, do you know about this? Do you know about this? Can you tell me what?
Yeah, I'm a supplement nerd. We also we have some really good resources in our company, Neogenics, on our Facebook page. We have so many groups out there that are dedicated to educating customers, team members. Even if you're not a customer, reach out. We're happy to help. We really want to make the we really want to make a difference. We really want to help people, and whether it's with Neogenics products or not, if we can make a difference and we can bring some education, bring some light into your life, we are happy to do so.
Yes, and what are the best ways? Because I did see a little bit of that you do have some kind of like offshoot private groups and stuff like that. So is the best way for somebody to go just directly to that Neogenics, that website?
Yeah, our main website, neogenics.com. But then on Facebook, we have a lot of social media platforms, and we're I think we just got a TikTok account a couple weeks ago. So
Hey, I'm not ready yet.
yeah, neither. But on Facebook, you can search Neogenics Nutrition, and that'll bring up our main Facebook page. And then all the other groups are easily found from there. We do have Instagram. I believe there's Twitter. I'll dig through and I'll find all the available links for resources, and I'll put those in the comments later.
Okay, that will be great. Yeah, and if there is some support, different private groups, I know that people love that because it's a great place. You know, sometimes on a main page or something, people are always like, "Oh, I don't want to ask that question." But a lot of times, when you have those break off private, groups, a lot of times, or just where they can send an email to, they're just much more apt to ask those questions that we're all thinking, but sometimes we don't ask because we think it's a silly.
Oh yeah, we get that all the time, and we want to encourage people to ask away. There really is no such thing as a stupid question. I've heard every question imaginable in my time in the supplement industry, and even if you want an answer from me, an email can be sent out to support@neogenics.com, and that question will be forwarded to me, and I'll reach back out. No problem.
Yes, and you know what, Derek, which I really respect you for. When we were talking, I was talking to you about some of those things since my surgery that my doctor was looking for me to have. And if you don't have the product directly, you were the first one to be like, let me look that up for you. Let me find where. And that just shows, when I have people on show, like the integrity that your company has. Like, you are really seeking good health for
Yeah.
people, having good products and making sure that they're taking the right things. So I'm excited. I'm on the product the journey here. The things that you guys don't have, you've given me great references to other tools and other products that I can also reach out to. But I'm so thankful for that. Derek, before we wrap up today, is there anything that you would like to leave the folks with?
Well,
I know I didn't tell you about that beforehand, but
that's okay. I would just like to leave quality is a word that has it's been overused, especially in this supplement industry. And I've made thousands of formulas for all sorts of people all over the world. And every one of my customers never boasted that they carried mediocre product. Every one of them, it was the absolute best. So you can't get it better anywhere in the world. And it's become such an overused term that the products get lost. And this is what creates so much confusion and leads to a lot of the issues we have today is, with regards to poor health, is people are taking stuff and it's not working and they don't know why. So educate yourself, do some research, ask. We have all sorts of people on our team that are more than happy to reach out and help people and try and impart some knowledge. Don't just go by what your friend says. Do a little research and find a true quality product. I know, and I can speak from my heart, that everything we make is with that quality. And hopefully we're able to change the meaning of that word and redefine it.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Derek, for being here with us today, sharing all of this great information. If you guys want to know any more about Neogenics, we're going to drop all those links below. In addition to that, if you want to know any more about the resources that the On Air Advocate has, you can go to onairadvocate.com and you'll find all of our resources right there. And if you'd like to join our private Facebook group, you can head up to the top of this page, hit the blue button, and that will let you into our private group. So with that, thank you guys so much. I see some questions. So Derek, when we get off, make sure you jump on that.
Alrighty, I'll take a look. Hey, thank you so much for having me on. This was fun.
Yes, thank you so much. And hopefully we will be talking again real soon. Thanks again, guys. You guys all have a very blessed Tuesday. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Stay healthy.